Violent.
Violent.
The increase in violent crime.
Violent clashes between the police and demonstrators.
31 people have been injured in violent incidents throughout the day.
The riots ended in the violent deaths of 3 teenagers.
My father was a violent and dangerous man.
He had a reputation for turning violent.
They had a violent quarrel and John stormed out.
They took a violent dislike to each other.
She has a violent temper. Her cheeks turned a violent red colour.
Violently.
Violently.
I was still trembling violently.
He rushed to the bathroom where he was violently sick.
Several people have been violently attacked in the subway.
Jenny protested violently.
Violet.
Violet.
Beautiful violet eyes.
Violin.
Violin.
Violinist.
Violinist.
Violoncello.
Violoncello.
VIP.
VIP.
They treated us like VIPs. We were given VIP treatment.
Viper.
Viper.
Virago.
Virago.
Viral.
Viral.
A viral infection.
It is one of the most viewed viral videos on the web. They use humorous virals to promote their products.
Viral marketing.
You can reach more potential customers by using viral marketing techniques.
Virgin.
Virgin.
A snowboarding virgin.
A virgin bride.
Virginal.
Virginal.
Virginals.
Virginals.
Virgin birth.
Virgin birth.
Virginia creeper.
Virginia creeper.
Virginity.
Virginity. Virgo.
Virgo.
Virile.
Viral.
Virility.
Virility.
Virology.
Virology.
Virtual.
Virtual.
Car ownership is a virtual necessity when you live in the country.
Finding a cheap place to rent is a virtual impossibility in this area.
The website allows you to take a virtual tour of the art gallery.
Constructing virtual worlds. Virtually.
Virtually.
Virtually all the children come to school by bus.
He was virtually unknown before running for office.
Professors can help students virtually by communicating over the internet.
Virtual memory.
Virtual memory.
Virtual office.
Virtual office.
Does the virtual office equal freedom or isolation?
Virtual reality.
Virtual reality.
Virtue.
Virtue.
Women have often been used as symbols of virtue.
Among her many virtues are loyalty, courage, and truthfulness.
Adam Smith believed in the virtues of free trade.
Wilkins is now extolling the virtues of organic farming.
She became a British resident by virtue of her marriage.
She made a virtue of her acting limitations by joking about them.
Virtuosity.
Virtuosity.
Virtuoso.
Virtuoso.
Violin virtuoso Vanessa May.
A virtuoso performance.
A virtuoso pianist.
Virtuosity.
Virtuoso. Virtuous.
Virtuous.
A virtuous man.
Sue considered herself very virtuous because she neither drank nor smoked.
Virulent.
Virulent.
A particularly virulent form of influenza.
Virulent anti-Semitism. Virus.
Virus.
Children infected with the AIDS virus.
A virus infection.
Visa.
Visa.
I was still in New York, trying to get a visa to visit Russia.
She applied for a 3-month tourist visa.
Visage.
Visage.
Vis-à-vis.
Vis-à-vis.
The bargaining position of the UK vis-à-vis the rest of Europe.
Viscera.
Viscera.
Visceral.
Visceral.
His visceral hatred of the ruling class.
Viscid.
Viscid.
Viscount.
Viscount.
Viscountess.
Viscountess.
Viscous.
Viscous.
As the liquid cools, it becomes viscous.
Vice.
Vice.
Visibility.
Visibility.
Visibility on the roads is down to 20 metres due to heavy fog.
The search for survivors was abandoned because of poor visibility.
The exhibition helped increase the visibility of women artists. High visibility clothing.
Visible.
Visible.
The outline of the mountains was clearly visible. The sign was clearly visible to passing motorists.
The comet is visible to the naked eye.
Check the plant for any visible signs of disease.
There has been a visible change in his attitude. Highly visible politicians.
Visibly.
Visibly.
She was visibly shaken by the news.
Vision.
Vision.
She suffered temporary loss of vision after being struck on the head.
Tears blurred her vision.
Children who are born with poor vision.
A figure at the edge of her vision. As the cars overtake you, they are temporarily outside your field of vision.
He had a clear vision of how he hoped the company would develop.
The President outlined his vision for the future.
A grand vision for the country.
I had visions of the kids getting lost and getting abducted by some weirdo.
She had a vision in which Jesus appeared before her.
He became a monk after seeing Saint Apollinaris in a vision.
We need a leader with vision and strong principles.
His enthusiasm and breadth of vision.
Visionary. Visionary.
Under his visionary leadership, the city prospered.
Visit.
Visit.
Eric went to Seattle to visit his cousins.
I was really pleased that they came to visit me.
Which cities did you visit in Spain?
A recent trip to London gave me the opportunity to visit the Science Museum.
She doesn't visit very often.
The building inspector is visiting the new housing project.
The President's first trip abroad will be to visit with troops in Bosnia.
Over 1,000 people visit our site every week.
Why don't you kids play outside while we visit with each other?
God's wrath will be visited on sinners.
A visit to Chicago. We're just here on a short visit. We're just here on a short visit. Why don't you come for a visit this summer? I decided to pay him a visit at his office. I've just had a visit from the police. I'm only here for the weekend, just a flying visit this time.
His first official visit to Britain as Russian president.
The town is well worth a visit. Barbara and I had a nice long visit.
Visitation.
Visitation.
Visitation rights.
A visitation of plague.
Visiting card.
Visiting card.
Visiting hours.
Visiting hours.
Visiting professor.
Visiting professor.
Visitor.
Visitor.
Times Square attracts more than 30 million visitors annually.
Rena is a frequent visitor to the city.
Visitors from overseas.
Visitor center.
Visitor center.
Visitor's book.
Visitor's book.
Visor.
Visor.
Vista. Vista.
Stunning vistas of the Norfolk coast.
Exchange programs opened up new vistas for students.
Visual. Visual.
Artists translate their ideas into visual images.
The tall tower adds to the visual impact of the building. The film's stunning visuals.
Visual aid.
Visual aid.
Visual arts.
Visual arts.
Visual display unit.
Visual display unit.
Visualize.
Visualize.
I tried to visualize the house while he was describing it.
Somehow I can't visualize myself staying with this company for much longer.
It's hard to visualize how these tiles will look in our bathroom.
Visually.
Visually.
Chairs should be visually attractive as well as comfortable. The process is easy to understand when it's demonstrated visually.
Vital.
Vital.
The work she does is absolutely vital. These measures are vital to national security.
Regular exercise is vital for your health. It is vital that you keep accurate records.
It is vital to keep accurate records.
It is vital to be honest with your children.
The tourist industry is of vital importance to the national economy.
Richardson played a vital role in the team's success.
The samples could give scientists vital information about long-term changes in the Earth's atmosphere.
Rodgers and Hart's music sounds as fresh and vital as the day it was written.
The body's vital processes.
Vital organs.
Vitality.
Vitality.
Despite her 80 years, Elsie was full of vitality.
The process of restructuring has injected some much-needed vitality into the company.
The senator promised to restore the economic vitality of the region. Vitally.
Vitally.
A sensible diet is vitally important if you want to remain in good health.
Vital organ.
Vital organ.
Vitals.
Vitals.
Vital statistics.
Vital statistics.
Vitamin.
Vitamin.
Try to eat foods that are rich in vitamins and minerals.
Lack of vitamin E can cause skin diseases and tiredness.
Perhaps I ought to take vitamins.
Vitiate.
Vitiate.
Viticulture.
Viticulture.
Vitreous.
Vitreous.
Vitrify.
Vitrify.
Vitriol.
Vitriol.
Vitriolic.
Vitriolic.
Vitriolic remarks.
Vitro.
Vitro.
Vituperation.
Vituperation.
Vituperative.
Vituperative.
Vituperative comments. Viva.
Viva.
Vivace.
Vivace.
Vivacious.
Vivacious.
A vivacious personality.
Vivarium.
Vivarium.
Viva voce.
Viva voce.
Vivid.
Vivid.
I've got vivid memories of that summer.
He has a vivid picture of her in his mind.
His vivid blue eyes.
I can vividly remember the day we met.
Vivisection.
Vivisection.
Vivo. Vivo.
Vixen.
Vixen.
Viz.
Viz.
3 Greek cities, viz. Athens, Thessaloniki, and Patras.
Vizier.
Vizier.
VJ.
VJ.
Vlog. A vlog.
V-neck.
V-neck.
A V-neck sweater.
Vocab.
Vocab.
Vocabulary.
Vocabulary.
Teachers were impressed by his vocabulary.
English has the largest vocabulary of any language.
Most technical jobs use a specialized vocabulary.
The vocabulary of politics.
Charlie Parker expanded the vocabulary of jazz.
Vocal. Vocal.
Foley has been particularly vocal in his criticism of the government.
She was a vocal opponent of the plan.
Vocal music.
Alison's vocal style is influenced by country and blues music.
A female vocal group.
The album features Jim Boquist on vocals. Vocal cords.
Vocal cords.
Vocalist.
Vocalist.
Vocalize.
Vocalize.
Vocation.
Vocation.
Jan has a vocation for teaching.
A strong sense of vocation.
You missed your vocation.
At 17, she found her true vocation as a writer.
Vocational.
Vocational.
Vocational qualifications.
Vocative.
Vocative.
Vociferate.
Vociferate.
Vociferous.
Vociferous.
A vociferous opponent of the plan. The minority population became more vociferous in its demands.
Vodcast.
Vodcast. Vodka.
Vodka.
Vogue.
Vogue.
The vogue for large families in the pre-war years.
Short skirts are very much in vogue just now. Suntanning first came into vogue in the mid-1930s.
Voice.
Voice.
He recognized her voice instantly.
I could hear angry voices. Sophie's got a lovely singing voice.
A piece written for 6 voices and piano.
Parents should have a voice in deciding how their children are educated. The government needs to listen to the voice of middle-class Americans. A fair democratic society in which individuals are able to make their voice heard. Since the new program was introduced, there have been some dissenting voices.
Senator Pryor spoke out, adding her voice to the call for new laws to protect the environment.
The senator is the voice of the religious right.
Ben, as ever, has been the voice of reason throughout the whole crisis.
Participants are encouraged to give voice to their personal hopes, fears and dreams. My inner voice told me to be cautious.
The senator voiced concern at how minorities and immigrants are treated in California.
She angrily voiced her objections.
Voice box.
Voice box.
Voiced.
Voiced.
Voiceless.
Voiceless.
The vast majority of our people feel ignored and voiceless.
Voicemail.
Voicemail.
The Voice of America.
Voice of America.
Voiceover.
Voiceover.
Voice print.
Voice print.
Void.
Void.
Running the business helped to fill the void after his wife died.
The amusement park will fill a void in this town, which has little entertainment for children.
She looked over the cliff into the void. Her eyes were void of all expression.
Voila.
Voila.
Voila, she said, producing a pair of white shoes.
Voil.
Voil.
VOIP. VOIP.
Vol.
Volatile.
Volatile.
An increasingly volatile political situation.
The highly volatile stock and bond markets.
Volavon.
Volavon.
Volcanic.
Volcanic.
Black volcanic sand.
Volcano.
Volcano.
Pompeii was destroyed when the volcano erupted in 79 AD.
Vole.
Vol.
Volition.
Volition.
Helena left the company of her own volition.
She was without her own volition.
Volley.
Volley.
A volley of bullets.
A volley of abuse.
Volleyball.
Volleyball.
Volt.
Volt.
Voltage.
Voltage.
Volte-face.
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 Voltmeter.
Voltmeter.
Voluble.
Voluble.
Clarissa was extremely voluble on the subject of good manners.
Volume.
Volume.
Can you turn the volume up?
The volume of traffic on the roads has increased dramatically in recent years.
The volume of trade.
An instrument for measuring the volume of a gas.
The period from 1940 to 1945 is in Volume 9.
A volume of Keats's poetry.
Voluminous.
Voluminous.
A voluminous cloak. He took voluminous notes during the lecture.
A voluminous suitcase.
Voluntarily.
Voluntarily.
She wasn't fired, she left voluntarily. Susan worked in the studios voluntarily to gain experience.
Voluntary.
Voluntary.
A voluntary organization providing help for the elderly.
Environmental work carried out by the voluntary sector.
She does a lot of voluntary work for the Red Cross.
A drop-in centre for homeless people run on a voluntary basis.
Workers are being encouraged to take voluntary redundancy.
Volunteer. Volunteer.
Most of the relief work was done by volunteers.
I need some volunteers to help with the washing up.
Helen volunteered to have Thanksgiving at her house this year. Sidcup volunteered for guard duty.
I volunteered my services as a driver.
Michael volunteered the information before I had a chance to ask.
When war broke out, my father volunteered immediately.
Mum volunteered Dave for washing up duties.
Voluptuary.
Voluptuary.
Voluptuous.
Voluptuous.
A voluptuous gesture. The voluptuous fragrance of a summer garden.
Vomit.
Vomit.
He had swallowed so much seawater he wanted to vomit.
I knew I was really in trouble when I began vomiting blood.
I vomited up most of my dinner.
Voodoo.
Voodoo.
Voodoo economics.
Voodoo economics.
Voracious.
Voracious.
Pigs are voracious feeders.
Kids can have voracious appetites.
A voracious reader.
Her appetite for information was voracious.
Anne has always read voraciously.
Vortex.
Vortex.
The vortex of emotions surrounding the case.
Votary.
Votary.
Vote.
Vote.
In 1918, British women got the right to vote. I voted for the Labour candidate in the last election. 53% of Danes voted in favour of the Maastricht Treaty.
The people of Ulster had finally been given a chance to vote on the issue.
Congress voted to increase foreign aid by 10%. Shareholders voted to reject the offer.
I've voted Democrat all my life.
The chances are that the government will be voted out of office.
In 1981, Henry Fonda was voted Best Actor for On Golden Pond.
Parliament has voted £20 million extra funding for road improvements. The evening was voted a great success.
I vote we go to the movies.
What do you want to eat? I vote for Mexican.
People generally vote with their pocketbooks against new taxes.
Readers vote with their wallets every day when they choose a newspaper.
In 1999, the town had voted down a petition to close the school.
A new chairman was voted in.
With policies like that, he'll be voted out in the next election.
The proposals were voted through yesterday.
A vote for us is not a wasted vote.
The proposal was rejected by 19 votes to 7.
The House of Representatives approved the budget, with 52 votes in favour, 16 against, and 12 abstentions.
Harkin won 74% of the votes cast.
Policies designed to win votes in the South.
It's the club secretary that counts the votes.
The results of the vote were surprising. 80% of workers favoured strike action.
There will be a citywide vote on the matter.
Unless anyone has anything to add, we'll take a vote.
Let's have a vote on it.
Let's put it to the vote. All those in favour, raise your hands.
Davis won the election with 57% of the vote.
The Greens increased their share of the vote from 2.9 to 4.9%.
In France, women didn't get the vote until 1945.
At that time, black people did not yet have the vote.
The black vote is astonishingly loyal to the Democratic Party. The Green vote looks likely to increase again.
A close vote is expected.
The motion was passed by a vote of 215 to 84.
Anything that will mean a better deal for our children gets my vote.